call her Mayhem or Mayday. Talk shit, she at your head. I ain't talking bald face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday. Flyer than round trips when she hit the runway. Comedy original, she do shit her own way. Made the stage her place, moving at her own pace. Fuck with her the wrong way, it's gonna be a long day. She watch Basketball Wives, loving hip hop too. Born in 81, one day forward turned to 82. Funny, ratchet, and cute. She a winner, that's true. She don't even take L's, eating alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, 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 mayday, mayhem. She a cool black nerd, always been smart. Ever since she turned 8, wanted her name in the charts. Monty Python was a shit. Richard Pryor made a start. Red Fox and Eddie Murphy, inspiration to her art. Who you know got banned from the dollar store for throwing canned goods at a baby father though. She a good mother though. She ain't worried about laughs cause she gon' get a lot of those. Showtime at the Apollo dope. And she paint the perfect picture telling stories up in all the jokes. You don't really want the drama, bro. Cause Mabel cool, Mayday nice, Mayday want all the smoke. Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem.
And welcome back. I do apologize for the time delay. It was an issue with the technology. Like, I am not a technology person. I do not like technology. I prefer my podcast. I'm trying to build more on my YouTube page, but I specifically prefer my podcast more because I just get on, talk, it records, and it goes on. But yes, thank you for joining me for this live stream, which will be again aired on my podcast, Mayday Mayhem Podcast. Again, thank you for joining us. And if you saw the title, pretty much time is up. And what are we talking about? We're actually talking about the missing submarine. And if you have not heard, it's this one right here. Now, this sub is called the Titan. Now, I don't know why in they right rhyme or reason would they call this the Titan. I don't even know why would you put anybody in this thing. First of all, you have to know what this thing is. Now, it's supposed to be a submersible machine that's supposed to go down and let you look at the Titanic. Before we go on, let's just take a look at what this thing is, okay? Let me show it to you. Let's just see what it is. Oh, we're gonna have to make that bigger. Oh no, that ain't gonna work. We have to make that a lot bigger because I want y'all to see this. See what I'm saying? Technical difficulties. I really do apologize, y'all. Technical difficulties. Let's see. Now, we're going to go ahead and play this so y'all can see exactly what they were in.
We are inside the submersible Titan. It is a carbon fiber and titanium sub that
See this from.
Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan. So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back. We've taken a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens.
I just want to stop and say right now, you are in something with a game controller. Now, I understand you have people that want to be, you got the money. You can do things like that. It's all good. It's straight. You can do those type of things. It's straight. But I'm not going to risk my life for a game controller. A game controller. Game controller. He just said it's the game controller. But okay.
So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back. Turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case. This is the second year we've been out to the Titanic. We went out in 5 8-day missions. We did about 10 dives to the wreck site of the Titanic, and we did an extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation, and we're funded by, we call mission specialists who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago, the Russians took tourists out to the Titanic, and it was just sort of a look and see thing. We really are focusing on the science around it. We want to document what the wreck is like now, and also try to predict what it'll be like in the future. It's continuing to decay, and it seems to be accelerating. It's being eaten by a bacteria, so it's literally being eaten by the ocean. It's not rusting away. So these things that are called rusticles are actually the byproduct of a bacteria that eats the iron. And as it does that, these decks are collapsing. The promenade deck continues to collapse forward. We saw some of the railing is starting to lose its structure.
Now, this man just said part of this thing is collapsing. It's collapsing. So,
structural strength, which is really a sad thing. That's when it's going to stop looking like the Titanic. The interest in the Titanic is the reason we go there, because people are willing to fund this kind of exploration and science, and that gives a completely different research component that almost nowhere else in the deep ocean can you get funding to go back every year for decades and see how coral reefs develop, and see how metals decay, and see how currents change. I mean, that just, you can't justify that. No government will pay for that. Nobody wants to go back to just some old reef, but people do want to go back to the Titanic, and that.
now, as you can see, what they went in. Now, I just showed y'all exactly what it was. They had a small capsule size equipment, no bigger than a minivan, with a little toilet with a flap. And they were literally only supposed to be down there 8 hours. It's an 8-hour trip. It takes 2.5 hours to get down there. Also, let me show y'all this. This is a clearer picture also of what we're dealing with here. And the insanity. Now, it's not insane to go down there to look at, the Titanic. To me, I wouldn't do it because, again, it's a sacred place. It's like a cemetery. People lost their lives there, and it's a whole thing behind that. But look at this. Now, you see where they went. This little Titanic wreckage, they showing you the Titanic wreckage is some 12,000 feet below. It's all the way down there. They went further than the Ohio class submarine. They went further than a blue whale. And what they didn't even have a beacon on them. The only way that they can have someone find out where they was through a cell phone. A cell phone. Now, allegedly, they went down. They went down now. Now, this whole expedition was supposed to last like 4-5 days. They went down there, spent $250,000 a pop. Now, it was a father and son duo went down there, which my heart goes out, especially to the son. He was only 19 years old. He haven't even experienced life yet. They went down there. They lost contact about 1 hour and 45 minutes when they first launched off the craft into this little boat. Not to mention, you're bolted from the outside in, meaning you have to be bolted from the outside in using like 17 bolts. Yeah, that's what's going on. It really holds 18, but they had to be bolted by 17 bolts. So they was bolted from the outside in. So even if they would have been found floating somewhere else in the sea, they still can't get out. They still have to have someone unbolt them to get out. No, it seems like everything that could have went wrong. And it was like no safety precautions. No safety precautions were there. None. Not one. And then, like I said, I think about the name of it, the Titan. Now, if you don't know, the Titanic is kind of a sketchy situation itself. If you ever heard of Frugality, it was a book called The Wreck of the Titan, written by Morgan Robertson back in like 1898. And it was about a wreck of a first-class intercontinental ship that rode to the North Atlantic Ocean, and they got hit by an iceberg, and 1,500 people died. And the reason they died because they didn't have enough lifeboats, and a lot of people froze in the Atlantic Ocean. Fast forward 14 years later, April 1912, that's exactly what happened to the Titanic. It was hit by an iceberg, allegedly, because there's all other type of conspiracies around the Titanic, but it was allegedly hit by iceberg, and the same exact circumstances that happened in the book about the wreck of the Titan happened to the Titanic. And now you name a boat the Titan, going to see the Titanic, and now pretty much you become the name of this book, The Wreck of the Titan. It's like something out of a story. Again, why? You literally have 5 people inside of a little bitty capsule like this. You see him, he was in there too, inside of a capsule holding a joystick. This is what you're being moved around with. And now there has been speculation that there is now debris floating in the sea that could possibly be the Voyager, the actual submarine. Now, if it is the submarine, that means it would have imploded. That means it could have imploded between that hour and 24 minutes, that 90 minutes or so window that they were missing. Because don't forget, they were missing for about a good hour and 45 minutes. And they weren't even reported missing for a whole 8 hours. So you're going to hear a lot of speculatory around this, like Again, why would you pay $250,000 to be inside of a enclosed capsule? Let's not forget, it was allegedly supposed to be 96 hours of oxygen. It was allegedly supposed to be no food, no water, limited to supplies for only 8 hours. They were in there with no shoes, barefoot, no coats or anything like that. And they're going to the bottom of the ocean where it's supposed to be depths that's near freezing temperatures in a polyurethane capsule. Now was even alleged tapping, which they heard for days. But again, you're in the bottom of the seafloor where there is actual metal. This machine was not made of metal. This was actually made of like a polyurethane. So you're not going to hear tapping from a polyurethane. You're going to hear tapping on a metal. Again, it's going to be a lot of speculatory information coming about riding around in something smaller than a van with a joystick, and you pay $250,000 for that. For adventure. I understand people that got millions and billions and trillions of dollars, they like to do things for expedition wise and, you know, spend their monies and do things for a while. But I'm saying you could have gave me 10 grand and I could have, you know, took you around and showed you a grand old time. You could have came back to your wife, your kids, and everybody would have been okay. But I understand, like they've said before, these are adventure seekers. A lot of these people have climbed Mount Everest several times. A lot of these people have been deep diving. A lot of these people have been all over. So I get it. But however, $250,000 to be guided by a PlayStation joystick, which they have had problems with this ocean crew before. They have had people quit because they said it's a safety concern. There was nobody for them to say restrictions on it. There was nothing. No one to say this is a yes, this is a no. And anyone that said no to him, he automatically fired them. Automatically. So it's like, whoa, when is safety a issue? Well, now safety has become an issue because now we have 5 souls that are gone because of safety features or because cutting corners, because you just want to see an expedition. Because again, they've had problems before. Last time on the expedition, they had to scratch it for a minute because something wasn't charged. Was that the instance here? Was one of them little game controllers not charged? Was what happened? Again, they said they lost communication an hour and 45 to 42 minutes into the exploration. Was that when allegedly an implosion happened? Is that when it happened? Was that allegedly when something went wrong? And what happened? Because again, we've heard so many different reports. I've been up half the day, half the night, following and watching and watching. It was even supposed to be rope that they had that was supposed to automatically disintegrate within like 8 hours of them being down there and supposed to float back up. What happened that didn't float back up? Again, you're going to hear a lot of speculatory things, and especially seeing that they've seen debris. We don't, again, know if that debris is from this ocean crew. We don't know. Again, these people have been missing for days, not hours, for days. So it's going to take time for us to even find out what really happened. It's going to take time. We're not going to know. They may never even find them whole. They may never even find a capsule to even find out what actually happened to these people. What actually happened? Did they even run out of oxygen? Everyone's hollering about oxygen, but it's cold. They were in freezing temperatures with no shoes, no coats, nowhere to move around to keep warm. Because let's think about it. If you're lacking oxygen, there's not enough oxygen, you can't move around to keep warm, because what are you doing? You're breathing more. You got to move around to keep warm. So that means you're moving more oxygen. They didn't even have a filter. When we're breathing, we're humans. Anyone that on air that breathes oxygen, what do we let out? Carbon. So if you're breathing in oxygen, you're letting out carbon. They didn't even have a filter to take out all the carbon monoxide that you're letting out. So again, it's a whole lot of, well, okay, you have a filter to let in oxygen. So where's the filter that's going to let out the carbon that we breathe out? They didn't even have that. And then for an 8-hour trip that supposedly now extended into a 4-day trip, that is unknown, unheard of. They said everything that happened could have happened. Everything wrong that happened, it could happen. They said they believe that they studied a near catastrophic event. That's what they believe happened. I also believe that's what happened too. I believe they had a near catastrophic event that happened. It had to have happened. Soon as they went into that water, that's when it happened. It had to have. Because look, you're going to the depths of almost 12,500 feet. You're going all the way down there. You're going past whales. And let's not forget, we have orcas attacking families off this coast of Florida and California. These whales is acting a fool. How we know that a whale didn't hit up against it and do something to it? Again, you don't have any visual. You don't have any beacons. You don't have any black boxes. And again, the ocean is a place that's less explored. More people have been out of space, allegedly, than have been in the water. So what is that telling you? You don't even know about the water. That we know more about space than we know more about the planet than we stay on. But y'all want to go down there and messing around with these little whales and messing around with the Titanic. You better leave that grave site alone. That is a graveyard. That is let them people rest. Let them lay. Let them be. Now you have now they had to go 13,000. It's cold down there. And they say it's dark. It is so dark. It's just like being, anyone have a drove or been out in the woods or been out somewhere far. It's just like being in the darkest, most foggiest place you could be. And literally fog. Your fog lights in front of you and you can't see nothing. That real dark, deep, dense. You can't see nothing in front of you, nothing around you. That's what they're in. Deep, dark water. Then there's currents down there. You're hearing a lot of people say there are no currents. There are currents down there. You're hearing other people say there are currents down there. They've been swept under currents. Just played a video saying where there are debris. There's debris falling from the Titanic. How do we know some debris, if they even made it that far, didn't fall on them? And that's what could have erupted the capsule. We don't know. We have no clue at all. But again, it's going to be a lot of speculation. We're going to hear a lot for the next few months, few weeks, few days, few years. It's going to be on and on and on and on. So, but again, my thoughts and prayers go again to the families, mainly to that 19-year-old, because he was just trying to adventure life. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to see life. Just trying. Just trying. So it's a terrible, terrible tragedy, but we can learn. This again is a teachable moment. This is a learning moment. This is actually a learning moment. We can learn from this. Just because you see other folks doing something don't mean you do it. Just because you see something that, oh, that looks cool, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking, well, I can cuss on here. I'm not monetized, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can say what I want to say on here. You know. So again, it's a sticky subject. Again, my thoughts and prayers do go out to the family, because again, they weren't going to think that they were going to lose their life. They literally thought they was going to expedition. They thought they was going to have fun. They thought they was going to kick it. They did not think that they was going to lose their lives. Especially, these are thrill seekers. These are people, again, that go to Mount Everest. They climb the highest mountains. They go deep diving in caves. These are what we call adrenaline junkies. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been skydiving before. You know, to a certain extent, I'm an adrenaline junkie. You know what I'm saying? So these are people that like to do these type of things. So with that being said, you know, my heart goes out to them. And this is a learning lesson. Be more mindful on what situations you're putting yourself in. Yes, it's good to be a thrill seeker. Yes, it's good to experience new things. Yes, it's good to do different things, but be more of yourself, and make sure you actually take time to look through shit before you jump into shit. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to look at it, because I'm pretty sure if they really would have looked through and saw some of the shoddy and spotty things that this ocean crew had going on with them, they probably would not have went. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have. So again, my hearts and prayers go with the families, because that would be, I would be besides myself, to be honest, if it was my family or my son or daughter on there, to be honest. So again, going to end this broadcast. I'm pretty sure I'll be back later. Again, I'm building my YouTube channel up more. I will be back later. I still do again want to apologize for the delay. I had technical difficulties. It wasn't my computers weren't hooking up. For some reason they weren't together. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I haven't touched anything. So I got it together. I got everything situated. It seems like everything is working. I hear me. Y'all hear me. It seems like everything is going well. It looks like everything is going good. So I'm pretty sure, I think I got it together. Now, I think I got an understanding of how to do this. So again, I apologize for any wait or delay. I think I got it together now. So yeah, I think I got it. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you, everyone. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. No one told you they love you. I do. I truly, truly do. Do better today than you did yesterday, and strive for a better tomorrow today. Again, everybody just think before you dive or jump into something, because just because somebody glamorizes some or puts a little cute little bow on it, again, it might just be some nuts and bolts thrown together with glue, and you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. So again, everyone stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see y'all most likely probably later on the day. Thank y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.